This video is to highlight the current construction contract that Wallace Companies uses on any of our larger projects. The first thing that you'll notice is anything that's in red is something that needs to be updated and changed in every contract that's issued. So the date, the contractor that has been awarded the work, the particular construction project site and address, and then we also like to add the architect that drew up the plans, as well as the engineer that did the site plan. OSM has typically been the contractor or the architect. Rob Bennett Construction is usually the contractor of choice, the GC of choice. And then Clayton Engineering and Kevin Camp is typically our civil engineer of choice. So you'll see in Article 2, the 2.1, this is the date that has to be determined of when we're going to start or when the project's going to start. And then typically we like to allow 120 working days from the time the footings are ready to be poured as the start date and end date of the project, and that days need to be agreed upon with the GC. In Article 3, this is a place that we're going to highlight and notate any of the documentation. So in this one, quote, clarification and qualifications, and then the bid sheet from the GC and the dates that those documents were issued, as well as the architectural drawings, plan sets, and the project number, and the last revision date on that, and the last site plan from the civil engineering, their project number and their date. Moving on to Article 4, just briefly it goes through owner's responsibilities. Article 5, that's going to get into more detail of the contractor's responsibilities. And Article 6 basically states that if there is a project, or if there is work to be done, as the owner's responsibility, there needs to be coordination with the GC on site to get this work completed reasonably. Article 7 is the responsibility of worksite information of the contractor and the owner. Article 8 is another section that needs to be updated in any of the contract. So the big one is the 8.2.1, and that is going to be the GC's estimate or bid that has been given for this project, as well as the contractor's profit percentage. Those need to be updated as those bids are awarded. Article 9 covers all the different costs that can be that will be reimbursed. Article 12 discusses the timelines of payments and when they're issued and when they will be paid. Article 15 addresses change orders, changes in work, and how that will be handled. Article 16 addresses any corrections of work, whether that be done incorrectly, any type of change, or something that doesn't meet the plan set. So how those things are handled. Article 18 discusses the completion and release of retainage. So basically when we start to get close to the end of the project and how those processes work. Article 20 talks about basically a walkthrough, startup, and commissioning, so how things are working and make sure they are working. And then that really ties into Article 21 with the final completion, final payment, so the things that are required to owners by contract to get receipt of and ensure that everything's in working order and all paperwork is supplied. Article 23 is insurance requirements. Article 24 is indemnification verbiage. Article 25 is warranty. And then we get into hazardous materials on sites and Article 26. Article 28, the safety requirements on site. And then you get into your termination possibilities by owner, termination possibilities by contract, any type of dispute resolution, and then lastly the signing page of the owner and contractor. So again, the owner needs to be tied to the owner of the site, so that needs to be determined by site, and then the president, Lynn Wallace's signature, and then the contractor, the GC that was selected. So this will be changed by project. And then the last piece of it is just Exhibit B, which outlines the insurance requirements, liability requirements that we have as well as companies to any general contractor.